Hey, so this week we're talking about how trans people are represented in the media and if we like how it's supported and stuff like that. So I guess generally in the media transgender people are not represented well. There's been a few that it's like in random TV shows that I watch, like there will be a random like, oh, my ex-girlfriend is now a guy, and everybody like laughs about it, and that's like not cool. And then like just when like news media talks about when people come out as transgender who are like celebrities or people in power, the news media like refuses to use the correct pronouns a lot of times, and like will use the person's birth name when they clearly don't go by that name anymore, and I don't know, it's just usually bad news. There have been a few with like Degrassi. They did a pretty good job. Spoiler alert, they did end up killing off the FTM in the show. I believe that's what happened. But that had to do with them poorly choosing, they chose a female actress as opposed to an FTM actor. So they, to a certain point, I believe it just got to where the character should have been taking more steps to physically and medically transitioning, and the actress wasn't about to do that, so they just got rid of the character. But that was a pretty big step for a while, having someone like the transition wasn't just the only thing about them. They had friends and did stuff with their friends and had stuff with their brother, but it wasn't just like they mentioned it once and never mentioned it again. I'm reading the topic. I think sometimes, like, one of the suggestions for the topic was, like, about stereotypes, and, when I was younger, I was, like, flipping through the channels, and there was, like, a news thing about, I don't know, he was probably, like, 13 or 14, I was a bit younger than that at the time, and all I saw was that he was born female and living as male now, and he hadn't started testosterone or anything, but he was like extremely heavy, and for a long time I thought like the only way for me to be able to live as male was if I put on 200 pounds, because once you get to that point, bodies kind of get the same way. Weight-wise, and so if your voice is deep enough and you cut your hair in a style that kind of shapes your face more masculine, then you could probably pass most of the time, and I thought that was all I was going to be able to do. So that's part of why I put transitioning out of my mind for a while. I didn't even know it was called transitioning at the time. Sorry for looking away all the time, but like camera's here on my bedpost and I'm facing this way, so it's like a little weird. I think a lot needs to be changed, but part of TV shows and media is that they take a person, like a character, and then go with a stereotype, whether that stereotype be a whitey nerd guy, wow, white nerdy guy, or like the emotional teenage girl, or I mean most characters in TV and movies aren't an average person. They have something that is why we like watching those shows, because, you know, it kind of exaggerates things, but usually not to a point where you're like, oh, that would never happen. But when a TV show only focuses on the stereotypes of a minority character, it's really hard to deal with and not fair. So, yeah, I don't really have anywhere else to go with this, so hopefully I'll be seeing everybody next week if I don't get crazy busy with my exam next week. So, alright, see ya.